Greetings and welcome. Today we'll learn boiler mountings and accessories. We have already learned the uses of some of the mountings, and today we'll learn boiler mountings, boiler accessories, and one of the accessories will be discussed today, and that is water level indicator. Let us define the mountings and accessories first. Mountings are the installation or mounted device for the safety of the boiler and also for the control of the boiler. Notice the two key words for mountings. Those are safety and control. The example of boiler mountings are pressure gauge, water level indicator, fusible plug, etc. Boiler accessories are the devices for efficient operation and smooth work of the boiler. Example of boiler accessories are superheater, economizer, air preheater, etc. So for mountings, safety and control, and for accessories, it is the efficiency or performance of the boiler. Mountings are required for safety and control, and accessories are required for efficient operation or performance of the boiler. Boiler mountings can be classified in two ways. Those are boiler mountings for safety and boiler mountings for control. For example, water level indicator. Another is safety valve. Another example of boiler mountings for safety is combined high steam and low water safety valve. If the level of steam increases and the level of water decreases, that will be indicated by this safety valve. This is a special safety valve for a boiler. Fusible plug. So these mountings are very essential for safety of the boiler. Other mountings are for the control of the boiler are pressure gauge. Pressure gauge indicates the pressure inside the boiler, and by monitoring the pressure, proper decision can be taken. And also the junction or stop valve is mountings for control. Similarly, feed check valve, which is a non-return valve, which allows the water to enter into the boiler but does not allow the water to escape from the boiler. Flow of cock and manifold. These are the mountings for control. So boiler mountings for safety as well as control. All these fittings or devices are called boiler mountings. Now boiler accessories. Example of boiler accessories are superheater that produces superheated steam, economizer which is used to supply hot water to the boiler as feed water by using the waste heat of the flue gases. Similarly, same waste hot gases are used to heat the air which is supplied to the furnace. And feed pump is used to pump the water at high pressure to boiler at a pressure more than the boiler pressure. There is another accessory that is steam separator, steam trap, and injector. Let us understand the working of a water level indicator with the help of this 3D model. This is the boiler plate to which the water level indicator is attached or connected. Water level indicator consists of two horizontal tubes. One is for the flow of steam to the glass tube, and the lower tube is for the flow of water to the glass tube. Both these horizontal hollow tubes are generally made of gunmetal. This vertical tube, which is also a hollow tube, is to support both the horizontal tubes, and this tube is extended below, which is for draining out of water from the tubes if necessary. This tube, actually there are two tubes. The inner tube, smaller tube, is the glass tube, which contains the water as well as the steam. And the outer tube is also made of glass, and which is the protective tube which protects the inner tube from any breaking or damage or accident. You can see there are three cocks on the steam tube and another cock on the water tube. The lower cock is to drain out the water from the tubes so that the sediments and mud can be cleaned by blowing off the water from time to time. At this position, both the water and steam cocks are closed, so water and steam cannot flow to the pipes. Now both the water cock and the steam cock are open. You can see now the steam and water can flow through these tubes to the glass tube. If both these cocks are open, then the level of water indicated by the glass tube will be same that of the level of water inside the boiler. And at this time, the lower cock must be closed. Otherwise, the water will be drained out of the tubes and the level of water shown or indicated by the glass tube is not exactly the same as that of the boiler. These are the screw cocks which closes the pipes at all the ends. Now let us see the cut section view of this water level indicator. Both the cocks at water pipe and steam pipes are open, so the steam and water can enter into the pipe and it will ultimately go to the glass tubes over here, and the water level will be same as that of the boiler. There are two steel ball, hollow steel ball, this one and this one, and at normal conditions they rest on this position. If the glass tube is broken, then these two steel balls will rush to this position and it will stop the flow of water and steam to the water tube or glass tube. So this is how a water level indicator works. The function of a water level indicator is to indicate the water level inside the boiler. The water level inside the boiler cannot be seen because the water as well as steam inside the boiler is enclosed within a closed vessel. Therefore, a device is required to monitor the water level inside the boiler. The function of water gauge is to indicate the level of water so that the attendant, called the boiler attendant, can regulate the supply of feed water into the boiler to maintain the correct water level. Normally, two water level indicators or water gauges are fitted in front of the boiler. Now let us discuss about the construction of water level indicator. It consists of two horizontal metal casing tubes, upper and lower tube. This is the upper horizontal tube and this is lower horizontal tube. The upper tube is fixed to the steam space and the lower tube is fixed to the water space. There is one gauze glass tube. This one is the gauze glass tube having guard cover fitted between two hollow gunmetal casing tube. So this and this are made of gunmetals, and this glass tube is the gauze tube. The inner one is the gauze glass tube and the outer tube is the protective tube. Water level indicator has three cocks. This is say cock 1, this is cock 2 and this is cock 3. The upper one is called the steam cock and the lower one, this one is called the water cock, and the bottom one, most bottom one is called the drain cock. For controlling the passage of steam and water, these two cocks are used. And the third one is used to drain out the water from the stew to clean the tubes periodically. So this is the boiler plate, part of the boiler water drum. And this is the level of water inside the boiler as well as inside the glass tube, inner glass tube. The water can enter through this tube and steam can enter through this tube. These two tubes made of gun metal are called the casing tube, hollow casing horizontal tube. These are the three cocks C1, C2 and C3. C1 is for controlling the flow of steam. C2 is for controlling the flow of water to the glass tube through the hollow gunmetal casing tube, and cock C3 to drain out the water for cleaning the tubes so that muds and sediments cannot deposit inside the inner glass tube. This one is a metallic hollow tube which supports both the horizontal tubes, and this is also a hollow tube, and through this tube also water or steam can flow from upper tube to lower tube or lower tube to upper tube. Outer tube is called the guard glass tube, which protects the inner glass tube. These are two hollow steel ball which generally rest on this position, and in case of breaking of this tube, this steel ball take the new position over here, and the flow of steam and water is stopped to the glass tube. Inner glass tube, which is also called the gauge glass tube, through which we can monitor the level of water inside the tube. Gauge glass tube indicates the water level inside the tube, and that is the level of water inside the boiler also. These are the screw cap to close the flow of water from the tubes. Steam comes from upper tube and water comes from lower tube. The yellow color represents the steam, and this blue color, light blue color, represents the water. During operation and for the observation of water level in the boiler, the steam and water cocks are kept open and drain clock is closed. C1 and C2 must be open and C3 must be closed for operation or for observation of water level. If that is so, the water level inside the boiler will be the same as seen in the gauge glass tube. The drain cock is open at regular intervals to discharge water to avoid accumulation of mud or sediments in the path from boiler to glass tube. In case the glass tube is broken, these two steel balls will take this new position. That means two small metal balls inside the upper and lower metal casing tubes rushes towards the glass tube, and the steam and water supply are shut off to the glass tube. If it is broken, say, then due to the pressure difference, the ball will take this new position in both the passes in case of steam as well as water. So the supply of steam as well as water to the glass tube will be stopped. So in such a situation, if the glass tube is broken, what should be done? In that case, the steam and water cock has to be closed and the glass tube is replaced to resume the normal operation of water gauge. By closing the cocks C1 and C2, this glass tube can be replaced. And after replacing, the cock C1 and C2 has to be opened again and the normal operation of water gauge can be resumed. So under normal condition, this is the position of the steel ball at the upper tube and this is the position of the steel ball at the lower tube. So at this condition, they rest at this position because the pressure exerted on the ball is same from all the sides. So it will not go to the glass tube side. It will remain in that position, and only if the glass tube is broken, then the pressure at this point will be lower than the pressure inside the boiler. So in that case only the ball will move towards this side, and that way the flow of steam as well as water will be stopped to the glass tube. So from this diagram also we can understand the thing. In case the glass tube is broken, this steel ball will take this new position and this steel ball will take this new position. So flow of water and flow of steam to the glass tube is stopped, and at that time this cock and this cock has to be closed to replace these glass tubes, and after replacing only these two cocks C1 and C2 has to be opened. So I think this is enough for today. Principle of water gauge is very simple. It's a combination of tubes only, two horizontal tubes, one vertical metal tube, and there are two glass tubes. One is inner tube, one is outer protective tube. So thank you for watching.